All right, we are back. Top of the hour. Let me know if you can hear me again, if you can see my screen. I'm seeing awesome. Here and here. Yep, perfect. Awesome. So great comments here, Charmaine. As action steps, going to call your clients, offer online clarity coaching, create joint ventures. I know, Charmaine, we're working together right now and helping you map out your game plan. So I love that idea. Dr. Heather Paulson, write my next book, add value to online cancer support group that's exercise related, and add a free Q&A webinar of people to buy the Cancer Proof Diet book. Love it. Elizabeth, personal phone outreach to all my customers, mindfulness offerings via fitness studios in collaboration with new businesses. So good. I love it. Yes, and taking the time to take action on what you're learning right now so that you walk away with a game plan. So I want to make sure here, okay, we are recording. Yes, we are. All right. So here is what we're going to dive into next is how to clarify and communicate your vision to your team to install clarity and confidence in uncertain times. Go ahead, let me know if you have anyone on your team. In your business, it could be one person, it could be 10 people, it can be 100. Even if you want, you could just say yes in the chat box, or you could put how many team members that you have. Would love to just, we got Susan, yes. 1 second. Okay, 10 at the moment. Freelancers, yeah, that counts, you know. Elizabeth said yes. Independent associates holding a common empowering vision is key. Absolutely. So this next section really on communication, as a leader, well, and again, leading yourself, leading your team, leading your community, your family, being the tuning fork that is guiding everyone towards that North Star is so key. And so I want to kick off with a little exercise. Read this and let me know if you can read it. And just go ahead and comment in the chat box if you can read this slide. Yes, yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Fascinating, huh? So most of you can. If you can't, it says, according to research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what order the letters of words are. The only important thing is that the first and the last letter be in the right place. The rest can be total mess and you can still read it without a problem. This is the important key. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole. So what does this mean for you? Well, how often do we get stuck in the how? We think that we need to know all of the details between where we're at and where we want to go. But it's important to simply just understand we need to know where we're at. Yeah, where we're at, and then where we want to go. And then just take the right next move to get there. So anchoring back into that vision. There is saying that is we create our business and life by default or design. If you look at any successful person, I can guarantee you that they did not create their life by default. They didn't just hope and pray that things were going to work out and not take action on designing some sort of blueprint of where they wanted to go. And there's a saying that goes, there's entrepreneurs that have been in business 10 years and others that have repeated the same year 10 times. And this moment in time is a big wake up call for all of us, whichever camp you're in, to really looking at what are you creating it by default? Are you creating it by design? Have you been living in creating your business for 10 years or the same year 10 times? And one of the things that's going to shift that is anchoring back into the vision. So what is a vivid vision? A vivid vision is a vivid description or picture of what your company looks like, feels like, and acts like 3 years from today, as if it's already happened. For business owners and entrepreneurs, one of the books that I recommend the most on the topic is Vivid Vision by Cameron Herold. It's an amazing book. Perfect time to read it right now. And he's actually going to be speaking later this afternoon. And I want you to think about your business kind of like a house blueprint. When you are, say, imagine you're building a new house. You wouldn't just rally a bunch of people together and say, okay, you start building walls and you start putting the pipes together for the plumbing and you start working on laying the sod for the grass. Probably wouldn't work out too well if you just gathered the group of people and said, okay, we're going to build a house, right? You always start with a blueprint and you get a vision of what you want that house to look like. And you really focus on building the blueprint. And then you got people together, experts in plumbing, experts in carpentry, the who's that all have their unique skill sets that are going to help you build the house. And say you have the vision for what the house looks like. Everyone is clear of what that end goal or destination is. Now, may there be pivots along the way while you're building the house? Most likely. Anyone who's built a house knows that there's things that show up that you just did not anticipate. And the same goes with our businesses. It's probably fair to say that most of us did not anticipate this. But let's not have that stop us from throwing in the towel and saying, I'm not going to build this house anymore. So coming up with that end vivid vision, some of the benefits for creating the vivid vision is number one, for you as the entrepreneur and the CEO, making sure that you have clarity. Because I know if I don't have clarity and I'm trying to lead my team somewhere and then they're it's guaranteed that they're not going to have clarity because it starts with me. It starts with you. Secondly, for a vivid vision is it's the most powerful recruiting tool. I know for many business owners right now, you may be in a situation where you're downsizing, but as you pivot, maybe you're going to need new positions. And having a clear vision of where you're headed is one of the most powerful recruiting tools that you can use to attract in key talent. I have some good friends that are brilliant entrepreneurs who they're looking at this as a huge opportunity. They're hiring on CEOs of some of their big companies for half of what they would normally have to invest to bring that person on right now. They're looking at it like, okay, we're going to get these people, other people are laying them off. We're going to attract them in, anchor them into our vision, and it's go time. Number 3 is internal team alignment. Now more than ever before, we got to rally our teams together, get them focused on the North Star. And bringing back to Allison's talk is, being flexible. I've been saying a lot to my team. We got to lean in, be on our toes, respond versus react, but not get super distracted. We still hold the vision. This is our mission. This is our why, but it may look a little bit different than it did before, and it most likely will. And we can't be so attached to what we do. We got to be open it up and be more attached to why we do it and who we do it for. Because the what may change. Number 4 is getting customers, vendors, and key partners on board. So right now you may be applying for loans. You may be reaching out to your banker or your accountant or people in your key corner a lot more than you did before, or reaching out to your customers, having a vision that you're sharing with them. They're looking for the North Star too. There's a saying in the Bible, Psalms and 29:16, which is, without the vision, the people perish. Everybody's looking for vision right now. If you are the holder of the vision, you become like a magnet. And especially for your community and your customers, your clients, they're looking for support right now. You want to hold the vision. And then number 5 is showing up as a confident leader. You don't need to have all of the answers to show up as a confident leader. You most likely, I know, I've been telling my team, I don't have all the answers, especially right now. But what you can count on me for is staying on my toes, responding, and seeing where we got to pivot. And I've been using the example, if we're on a big ship, my hands on the helm, going through the rocky waters, and like, I know exactly where we're going. I may need to pivot a little bit, but I'm going to hold the vision to get us through there. This is really, really key right now. Oops. Here's an example of one of our Vivid Vision clients, Billy Jean. Some of you may see him on the internet. His company's called Billy Jean is Marketing. And I mean, he's grown so fast. Over 5 years ago, he was living in his parents' basement, and now they have a over $10 million a year marketing company. And he's grown to over 50 employees very quickly. And one of his biggest challenges was that they were growing so quickly, and there was a disconnect between what he saw the vision very, very clearly, but the team didn't. And so he said, you know, in your head, you may be clear about your vision, yet there always seems to be a disconnect when talking to your team about it. One of the hard things with team members and getting people on board is that a lot of the times they don't understand where they fit into that. That's the mistake that I was making because it was never in writing. And so an example that I give here is like, imagine you're hosting a party. Yeah. And as the entrepreneur, as the leader, you know very clearly that this is going to be a Mexican fiesta. But all you say is, we're going to host a party. And you tell the rest of your team members to, you know, you go get a cake, you go get the food, you go get the venue, you go get the decorations. And one person comes back and they got a wedding cake. The other person comes back and they got baby decorations. Another person came and they brought sushi. And you're just like, we're hosting a Mexican fiesta. What is this? Yeah. And oftentimes we as entrepreneurs think, you know, we're just intuitive. We see the vision. How does no one else get it? Well, we got to put it in words. We got to put it in words for the rest of the team. This is one of our other clients, Kiara Allen, based out of Canada. And one of her challenges was that she felt like she couldn't pay top talent in her field. She didn't know how to attract in key team members. And she also was having a challenge with a lot of the different clients that she was working with. And she created her Vivid Vision. We helped her create her Vivid Vision. And she said, we used the vision in our first meeting with a client as a way to introduce the company. And the client not only became one of our biggest clients, but if I were to imagine a dream client, this would be it. And that's her, a photo of her behind her Vivid Vision, which is her document. And then here's an example of Alex, who is, I call him my dream mate. And he used his Vivid Vision to attract a key team member that he really, really wanted. We were out one evening and he was really excited about the possibility of hiring on a new team member. And he sent her the Vivid Vision and said, hey, read this. Read this first. And if you're not totally lit up and excited, then it's probably not a fit anyways. And then this is the text that he got back from her. I literally started reading, or this is actually the text that she sent to one of her friends that Alex knew. I literally started crying reading his vision. It reminds me of how another person runs his vision or his company, but bigger and more stable. It has everything I've been longing for. So especially right now too, if you know that you got to downsize with your team, or you just can't afford to hire top talent, people are a whole lot more flexible right now as far as employees. A lot of people are looking for jobs, but they still want to work on something fulfilling. Yeah. So if you want to look at just different examples of vivid visions and get some inspiration and ideas, you can just head over to consciouscopy.co/vivid vision. There's loads of examples there. You could just click on them and open it up, and you can see different visions that we've created in all different industries to start to get ideas for you and your business right now. If you know that you're at a point where it's a crossroads and you either need to transform your vision or create a brand new vision, these should give you some really, really great ideas. This next section though is I want to give you the 5 key ingredients to creating your vivid vision right now. Sound good? So you may, if you can go ahead and just comment in the chat box first let me know, do you have a vision that you're clear of right now? Are you in the pivot process towards your vision, or are you starting kind of from scratch, like brand new vision? If you go ahead and just let me know. And then we're going to dive into these 5 key ingredients that you can immediately start to use. Jess Sherman, have it about 80%. It's been a game changer. Brand new. If one of our team members can type in the, the website there. It's right there. So from scratch, pivot and vision, needs revision, not in 3 years, pivoting, starting from scratch. I popped the URL in there. So key right now. Definitely have my vision, but have been fallen into the entrepreneur trap of not being able to communicate it to my team and wondering why they just don't see it like I do. Awesome. Okay. Well, wherever you're at in this process, you're in the right place. Yeah. I can tell you that. Have the vision, need to write it down. Okay. So I want to tell you a story about Dan. So Dan was one of our Vivid Vision clients. And when he came to me, he had about a $5 million physical products company. And when he came and we were having a phone conversation about his vision, I noticed that there was a lot of things that he was saying that we got to upgrade. We'll just say that. Because I said, okay, in 3 years, what do you want your company to look like? And he's like, well, I think we should do this, or we got to do this. And it was all around these things like should, have to. And at a certain point, I just asked him, I was like, are you in love with your business? Like, and when you think about that, are you in love with that? Would that excite you? And he's like, not really, but I think that that's what we should do. And this is a trap that I see a lot of entrepreneurs fall into, which I call the golden jail cell, meaning they build themselves this vision that isn't really their vision. They build something that they think that they have to do or should do or makes sense to do, and then they grow into it, and then they realize that they don't want that. that they're not totally in love with it. And there is a balance between first getting clear of the vision, the thing that would light you up, and you're passionate about, and then being flexible on the how. And we're going to go into that. But I just want you to notice that if you notice yourself going into building out something, the long-term vision, making sure that it's something that you actually want versus what you think you have to do. Because it's really hard to wake up in the morning and especially be in turbulent circumstantial times like now, just doing something that you think that you have to do. Does that make sense? Cool. So take a deep breath in. So number one, the first, you want to tune into the most important question. The most important question is, what would I love? One of my mentors, Mary Morrissey, says that spirit or higher power speaks through love, whatever you want to call it, not whatever title you use for that, spirit, universe, source, leave it up to you. But just life speaks through love. And so when we allow ourselves to tune into that question, what would I love? And we feel the expansion that comes when different thoughts come to our mind, or the contraction, then that's a sign. That's a sign. So if what would I love feels like a little bit of a too foo-foo of a question for you, what do I want? When you forecast 3 years into the future, what kind of business do you want? Again, not detaching to the how, but rather what are some of the things that you want it to look like? And I'll give some examples here. Number 2 is when you're crafting your vision. You want to create it in present tense and reflecting back. Okay. And one of the challenges that I'll see entrepreneurs run into is they will say, when I think of my vision, it feels a bit elusive. And so that's why you want to attach some sort of date to it, or date range. So even, at the beginning session, I asked, what do you want your headline story to be on the other side of this? None of us really know exactly what the other side of this, what date that is going to be, but we can have a general ballpark. The suggestion that I have for after studying with many different leaders in spirituality and business, even Olympic coaches who train on visualization, a sweet spot is 3 years. Imagine your company 3 years into the future. And you're communicating in present tense, reflecting back. Because remembering, we don't go to our vision, we come from our vision. So you may say things like, I have a self-managing, self-multiplying business that has multiple different legs and revenue streams that are serving entrepreneurs and business owners with getting their message out into the world. My team, reflecting back, my team and I have built a really strong culture where the last 3 years, so now we're reflecting back, we've gone on a yearly team retreat where we all come together and we get crystal clear of what we want the upcoming year to look like. And everyone is focused on the vision. We built a results work environment, meaning the team is committed to producing results. They're rewarded for them. We are, our different products and services that we have are world class. We are we're serving the top 1 to 3% of our market in a very specific niche. We produce quality products. You could go on and on, speaking present tense, reflecting back. Did you notice there? Nowhere am I saying, specific the how. And we'll go into that in number 5. So you can still get very, very vivid without having to go into the how. Is this helpful so far? Go ahead, let me know. Yes. Alvin says yes. Jess Lenovo, what's up? Yeah, awesome. All right, number 3 is you want to paint the picture. What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? Meaning, when you look around your company, as humans, we experience the world in pictures and emotions. Pictures plus emotions equals stories. We are story creating machines. We live our life in stories. That's why movies, you know, it's kind of like the hero's journey, the same movie there, Joseph Campbell, which was um, he's the creator of the hero's journey. He has I believe it's a book that's the story with 1,000 faces, where he talks about the hero's journey that we all go through is very similar. But we experience it through painting the pictures, pictures and emotions. So if I say, visualize the front door to your house, you probably wouldn't think about the word DOOR. You'd get an image of your mind of what your door looks like, what color it is, what size it is, what's surrounding it. And so you want to do the same when you're visualizing what you want your company to look like. So instead of just saying, we've had explosive growth, it's hard to visualize what that looks like. And it's very subjective. So this explosive growth, maybe that looks like, when you look at our balance sheet, we continue to build our balance sheet year after year. Our P&L, we have a 35% profit margin. We've grown 50% in revenue year after year the last 3 years. Or does it look like, we went from serving 1,000 clients a year to serving 10,000 clients a year in the last 3 years? And we're working with clients in these different countries. And when we host virtual events or in-person events, this is what, we have 500 people at our events. What does it look like to you? Paint the picture. And then number 4 is, how does it feel? So pictures plus emotions equals story. How do you want this vision to feel? Because everything that we do as humans, every sort of action we take is usually driven on, how is this going to make me feel? So do you want to, when you step into the vision of your company on the other side of this, do you want it to feel expansive? Do you want to feel confident that it's virus proof? Do you want it to feel, do you want to feel creative? Do you want to feel excited and passionate every morning to wake up and continue to build your business? It's really, really key. I had a meeting with my team last year, and we were building out our vision for the upcoming year. And one of my team members said, "Oh, that's going to be overwhelming." Oh. And I've done this myself too. I'll think of something and I'll think, "Oh gosh, that looks really big." But I said, be very, very careful that if you choose to attach that feeling to that result, I guarantee you're going to get it. But you have a choice to paint your vision, your vivid vision, however you want. How do you want it to feel? Because we want to use that as our North Star. So how do you want it to feel? Number 5 is, don't worry about the how right now. This is going to be really, really tough. And this is specifically in the vision process, but it doesn't have to be. Because if you know, okay, step one is I'm going to get really, really clear my vision, the what and the why of what's driving me. And then I promise you can dive into the how. Then you're going to have so much more freedom in coming up with the how. Being a copywriter, one of the things that I learned early on is that you never want to write and edit at the same time. It is a grueling process when you're trying to be creative, but then also technical at the same time. It's like right brain, left brain fighting at each other. The same thing goes when you're creating your vision. You want to first just allow yourself to be creative and then anchor in how you're going to do it. I want to share with you an example of, in our Vivid Vision. So I've created a number of Vivid Visions for my company over the years. And this is one from now a couple of years ago in the section of media and awards. I painted the picture of what I wanted, the media and what type of awards that we would get as a company 3 years into the future, as if it's already happened. And one of the things that I wrote in there was I'm speaking on stages like Traffic and Conversion, which is the largest marketing conference in my industry, of about 11,000 people that attend, and the Genius Network annual event, which is one of the top events for entrepreneurs in the business space. And people like Richard Branson and Jean-Paul DeJory and Steve Mackey of Whole Foods, and just some of my idols, the people I look up to most, have spoken on that stage. And I had no idea how this was going to happen, but I put it in there because I tuned in and I would love it. I thought that would be so cool to be on those stages. Well, 4 months later, after just writing this, putting it in writing, I hadn't fully even started to build out my strategy yet to how I was going to make it happen. I got a call from my friend Joe Polish. Well, it was actually his assistant, Eunice, who said, "Hey, our team was talking and we would really love you to come and speak at the Genius Network annual event this upcoming year. Would you be interested?" Can you guess what I said? I was like freaking out inside. Yes, absolutely. So here's the photo. Here's the photo. I'm just doing my thing. Got to give a 10-minute talk, which is the signature talks that all of the speakers give 10-minute talks. And so I got to do that. And then 6 months after writing the Vivid Vision, I got an email from Traffic and Conversion saying, "Hey, would you like to come and speak at this year's Traffic and Conversion?" And I said yes. And so last year I got to be one of the speakers there, and I'm going to be. It was actually supposed to be this week, right now. Oh my gosh, right now, literally in this moment, I was supposed to be speaking on stage at TNC again this year, and they moved it. And so with your Vivid Vision, you don't necessarily need to know how to make it happen at first, but you need to make sure that you're clear about what it is so you can make it welcome. So just real quick, I'm just going to take like 5 minutes to just share with you if you are just interested at all in getting help with gaining clarity on how to create your company's vision, and you to provide your team and your customers and your community something to really hold on to during these times of fear and uncertainty, and really clarify it and put it into words. My team and I would love to help just dive in to providing you some tools to effectively communicate it. So for this upcoming week, we're going to be offering just complimentary, so free vision clarity calls. And what is going to happen on that call is if you want to, you don't have to though, is you can book a call, and first we're going to help you in getting clear of the parts of your vision that you're maybe not sure of. And perhaps you need a new vision, like some of you shared, or to just pull it forward a little bit more. And then second, we'll help you determine what areas are really unclear, and what is going to take to get clear of that. And then from there, if there is a way that we can see, if there's a way that we can help you in writing and designing and creating your vivid vision so you have it in your hands to use for your company, we can share with you what that looks like. Either way, all good. So only if it's, if you're interested in booking a complimentary call, totally free, you can head over to createyourvividvision.com, and you can sign up for a complimentary call there. And again, I'll just speak into it. I can promise you we're not going to hard sell you on anything. Only if you know that you want help with really taking it and turning it into a physical document, we can talk about what that looks like. But either way, all good. So that's my one little tidbit there. And I see a number of you on we've created Vivid Visions for. We've created over 100 or 150 now Vivid Visions for companies in all different industries to help them get clear of what it is that they want to create, and then use it as a tool for them and their clients. So what I want to do next is, here we go. I want you to we're actually going to take a moment for you to start brainstorming on some of your vivid vision. So imagining it's roughly 3 years. So we're going to say December 31st, 2022. And you're reflecting back. It all worked out even better than you dreamed up. And you got through this on the other side better than ever. Just take a moment to start to just bullet point, what are some of the things that you want to see happen in your business? What does it look like? Paint the picture, using some of what you've learned already. If it's, we have multiple different revenue streams we've built, like Allison talked about, the legs on the chair. So we have 3 or 4 different revenue streams that are all very diverse, that are generating consistent and predictable income month after month. We've been able to expand our reach and help our customers all over the world now, using the power of being online and our website. And when it comes to our marketing, we have we've built a reach and a following of an email list. So anytime we have new creative products that we're producing, we can reach out to our clients and get immediate feedback of if they want to purchase it or not. But what are the things that you would really love? What would light you up? So we're going to take a couple moments here for you just to journal on this, and then I'm going to open it up for questions on this. So go ahead. And play a little writing music. Awesome. Okay. Can you hear me okay now? Cool. Okay. I want to open it up for questions. If you have a question, you can even just go ahead and let me know in the chat box by either writing your question, or you can just say, I have a question, and I will unmute you so that you can just share it that way. So whatever works best for you, we'll open it up here. Okay, so Elizabeth asks, does it work to focus on feelings and values to the exclusion of numbers? Does it work to focus on feelings and values to the exclusion of numbers? I'm not sure if I understand. I apologize, but maybe I don't understand the question. Does it work to focus on? You want to focus on both. You really want to focus in on what does it look like? And that can look like the specifics, right? If numbers are specific. And then you also want to connect to how does it feel as well. And you plug in the areas that you do know. Okay, so do I need to specify financial goals rather than general prosperity? Good question. Good question. So, one of the things that we've done now like 150 of these Vivid Visions 101 for clients. And one of the things I do share is if you do know general financial numbers, I highly recommend including it. And here's why, is because specificity is a magnet. The more specific we are, the more, we can really attract in what it is. And the less left up for interpretation. So for example, say I have a team, or you have a team, and I say this year we want to be prosperous. That's our goal, prosperity. That can look a lot of different ways for everyone in the group, right? For some people, they may be thinking, does that mean $1 million? Does other people that means 100 million? For some people, maybe it's 100,000 left for up for interpretation. It's kind of like building a house and saying, what color do you want your walls painted? And you say one that feels really good, one that feels warm. Again, it's like it's left up for interpretation. For one person, that may look very different than another. Awesome. Scott's in the house here. And I think you can even actually just mute yourself. Try that. And then if not, I can find you. There we go.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Hey, thanks a lot. So I think what you're saying is, and how I've created my Vivid Vision is the way I write is actually write it. Today's date is April 2nd, 2023. Today we have an office 10 times better and bigger than we had 3 years ago with, so we're going, so I'm actually going.
I just want to check in. Do you have a question?
Yeah. So the question is, so be so fine-tuned to the descriptions to the point of like silliness, right? As I write this, it's almost like it already happened, right? Is that, so not vague, but to the point and visually visualizing like micro details.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. No, okay,
yeah, it's key. Like for example, one of the things that if you have an in-person office, you can say, as soon as you walk in, there's one of our clients said like the freshly baked cookies is in the air, and it just it makes our clients feel at home immediately when they walk in. Yeah, that's a visual. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much, Scott.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. Dr. Heather, what is your recommendation for overcoming vision disappointment? More like falling into not trusting my ability to visualize a true future. Okay, I got a tool for you on this one that'll help you with that. This is there are 7, I call them the 7 invisible blocks that can stop you from getting clarity of your vision. One of them can feel I call it vision FOMO, like the fear of missing out on a vision that's greater or grander than the one that you currently can think of. What's important to remember is that to just get as clear as you can from where you're at with what you have, and understand that the future vision is a blueprint that you're pouring your energy into, but not to be so attached to only it looking one way. So the way that I do it, so you don't feel like you're okay, what if this isn't the thing? I want to open it up and leave room for possibility, leave room for the magic that's especially happening right now. There's the uncertainty. And I say this at the bottom of my vision: all of this and something even better still, or all of this and something even better still. And that immediately opens it up to say, at this point in time, this is what I know my vision to be. But I'm also very open for it being even better and greater and grander that I don't even know what it looks like right now. So all of this and something even better still. Is that helpful? All right. Awesome. Good question. Okay. Anyone else have a question? We got all of that and something even better still. Yeah, because and I highly recommend including this at the bottom as you're building your vision right now, because again, we are in uncertain times where there's so much magic that is waiting to happen, and opportunity for pivots in our how, so we can not cap what we know that we'd like with something even greater still. Charmaine, what are the other 7 blocks? I don't have time to share them all right now because we're going to head on break. But perhaps in the near future, I can create another training on it, because we go deep into every single one of them. But yeah, like a couple of them. One is the dream FOMO. Another one is afraid of what other people will think. That's one of the biggest ones that I see. Like you're writing out your vision and suddenly someone else's voice, maybe it's like your siblings or one of your parents or something's like, how are you going to do that? There's no way that's possible. But you just got to ignore that. With our clients, I can tell when those thoughts will start to creep in and they'll start to contract a little bit, and it's like, nah. We're focusing on your vision. You get to have what you want. Let's map it out. All right. Oh, and then would we be willing to put the 5 steps visually again? Yeah. So just as a recap, number 1 is, what would I love? 2, create it in present tense and reflecting back. 3 is paint the picture. What does it look like, feel like, sound like, taste like? 4, how does it feel? And 5, don't worry about the how right now. There's been a question a couple times about, is there going to be a replay on this? We are going to be sending out the recordings. They're going to be, it will just take a couple days though for our team to splice them up, but we'll be sending them over to you. And then what about the fear of not achieving? This is a good one. So it's like, what if I commit to this vision, but I don't I don't achieve it? Bob Proctor says, goals or it's similar to vision, like goals are for the growth. The goal should be, or it should be driven for growth. It's more about, of course, getting the what is amazing, and it always is. It's so great when you look around and you're like, this is my reality. But even better than that, it's who we became in the process. And right now, we've all been given this beautiful opportunity, that's kind of masked as, maybe it's masked in sandpaper right now, but I promise there's a beautiful gift inside of it. And it's we can either go through this experience to our visions, just like gripping on to the old way, or we can breathe into it, and we can really ask, who do I want to be while I'm building this vision, and focus more on that. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. We're going to take a 7-minute break here. We went a little bit long, but I want to make sure all of your questions get answered. For those of you who you want a vision clarity call and you want our team support and just helping you unpack some of what's going on in your brain right now, you could head over to createyourvividvision.com and book your complimentary vision clarity call.